All right, Shalom, Shalom. Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai Brakathum. Double honors to the elders and apostles, Great Millstone. It's Brother Yatazadak back once again with another live lesson. As always, giving all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakak. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Today we're going to continue in Jeremiah chapter 25, going into the Hebrew, verse 19. So, Lord willing, you're edified. All right. Giving all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakak. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the 144,000 of the nation of Israel, right? Which consists of you so-called Salakia, Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. We are in America, Babylon the Great. We are in the latter days. All right, the RFID chip is a mark of the beast. Revelation 13:16 says, he causes both small and great, rich and poor to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads. All right, the prophetic word is going out. The remnant are being called back unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. You're going to be coerced into taking the RFID chip. You're going to perish in the time of martial law, FEMA camps. Jacob's trouble, when all hell breaks loose, the Lord is going to bring World War III, thermonuclear fire upon America, Babylon the Great. Right? This is a testimony that we have, all right, as the dry bones are woken up in the valley, Ezekiel chapter 37. All right, the two witnesses, northern, southern kingdom, which the southern kingdom is the head tribes, right, which consist of the Judites, which are the so-called Negroes, the Haitians, which are the Levites, the Dominicans, which are the Simeonites. All right, that's Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon. Benjamites are the West Indians, and you got the 10 lost tribes, the Hispanic tribes, which is really 12 in total, 8 Northern Kingdom. All right, us walking as one as this gospel coming to pass, the awakening, the great awakening, and the 144,000 waking up first, which are the heads, the elders, the teachers, starting with our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And then you got the great multitude that will be delivered out of America, Babylon the Great. Which is talking about the faithful followers of those that are speaking 100% truth, according to the Holy Spirit, Rakak Wadash. All right, the volume of the book, which is written, like it says in the book of Psalms, our members are written in that book, which is the elect, meaning we're going to bear witness to it. We're going to go through the things written that the elect would go through, and we would ultimately be saved. All right, which is called the book of life. Right, you have the book of life. You have the new Acts of the Apostles, which is a man that the Lord sent back in their lot. So everyone's back in their lot. All right, and we're here to call back, right, the Lord's plot, meaning his plot is the elect. All right. But anyways, I'm not going to go too much into the introduction. You know, we're about 4 minutes in. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua Brakathum. To sincere Akim and Akwath. And let's get right into it. All right. So this next verse is talking about Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Like I said, it's talking about Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and his servants, his princes, and all his people, right? Because sometimes he's known as Pharaoh, king of Babylon, all right, which this talked about back then, But these are parallels. You read several parallels that measure up the king of Babylon, the Babylonians, the Persians, the Medes, with latter-day prophecy, because these heathen have the same mindset. They call on left-hand spirits, right? They cause these devices to come to pass, using divination, whatnot, right? Like scriptures say, the king of Babylon used divination in the way. All right. So even if you say that it's not them, that it's not talking about Esau today, it's still, they have things in common, which it really is talking about Esau today, because he's spearheading these things in the latter days to forward his agenda, but ultimately it's going to be to his fall, because that's what these ancient kingdoms did. All right. They had the priesthood on the left hand side. Just Esau, the only thing he has done is was what he was able to gather and consolidate these things unto him and use it for his purpose, right? So these wizards, these demons, they're still here, but they're just under new employment. All right. So nothing is different. Nothing has changed. All right. Just the one in charge has changed. All right. But that spirit is still there, right? That spirit of Babylon, spirit of confusion. All right. The Greek spirit, which the uh, the Japhets, which are the so-called Polynesians, the Samoans, you know, they got a Mo spirit on them, you know, just like when you go to these and that's why these all these nations fornicate with the beast, because they're divided, because they ultimately want to see who's God next, but they fornicate with the beast because to an extent they are in that same despicable mind state. All right. Why? Because their spirit is not right, just like Esau. All right. Which is why Paul the Apostle quoted in the book of Romans, right? His spirit is not right that is in him, but the just shall live by faith. Because Paul the Apostle knew throughout these captivities, we would have to deal with defilement, our food being defiled. We would have to, you know, have particular of our family be defiled, be corrupted. All right. So if you think that the Hebrews just wrote a book and just try to line it and just try to bundle everyone up together, and then in the end say, oh well, this means that, because that's what the heathen think. They think the Bible is just okay. It just says a whole bunch of different things, and you can make whatever you want out of it, and that's what we're doing. But no, the Lord is dealing. That's why He's dealing with us, right, on a deeper level, because we see these things that this heathen cannot see. All right, which is not talking about carnal things, because the heathen Esau. This is why the mark is built upon something physical, something that that it goes in concordance with what has been happened throughout history, meaning the same method working over and over and over again. That's why these same models are rebranded, reintroduced. All right, but now there's a schism in the plans of the heathen, which is the remnant waking up. All right, this is why they rejoice. Revelation chapter 11, that we were without knowledge, because when righteousness was not forwarded, their agendas were forwarded. All right, so it is the mind that they have, you know, because they knew that the Hebrews, and they ultimately deep down they know the Lord is gonna destroy Esau, and you know, and we're gonna return and as gods of the earth. reigning on the earth under Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But they got to kind of go along with Esau, you know. And Esau knows that he's going to, perish, So they know, but they haven't took it, they never really took it to mind until now. All right. Now more than ever, they know that that the Lord is visiting the earth with this word. Now they see, okay, they're waking up, but we did everything possible. How is the Lord waking them up? Well, it's the Spirit, right? Which quickeneth. All right. So it says, unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and unto his servants, unto his princes, and unto all his people. Right? Let's talk about the beast, or Salaki, the whore on top of the beast that fornicated with the kingdoms of the earth. Which is talking about back then as well, because the Babylonians, they were a superpower back then. All right. Pharaoh, and we know this is not talking about Pharaoh himself. All right. Because then it says the mingled people, the kings of the land of Uz, Edom, Moab. All right. Basically, this is talking about all nations. All right. But it starts with Pharaoh because, right, it started with Nebuchadnezzar, the heads of these particular rulerships back then. And part of that spirit of that rulership is here today. All right. Which mainly, when you start at verse 12, that's when it's really going into future prophecy. But even at verse 1, these things resonate. Even what is spoken at verse 1 resonates with future prophecy. Because these superpowers, that spirit of that superpower is still here today, which is why Esau Edom, which is why it says in the book of Habakkuk that he gathereth all people, he heapeth all people unto himself, not just the people, their ideas, their gifts on the left-hand side. Cain, the Lord said unto Cain that sin shall rule over thee, or Salakia, something to the effect that you will have rule over sin, or Salakia, sin shall have rule over thee, you shall serve it. That's twofold, because Esau would be subject to, doing what the Lord said he would do, meaning he would just be an instrument, vessel made to be destroyed, and he would use sin to forward his agenda, because he would ultimately be given the sword, not the nations. The nations were given a small time, but the Esau Edom, right, he would be the one who would ultimately forward abominations in the earth with the help of the nations, but he spearheaded it. All right, if you can get what I'm saying. All right. So verse 20, let's go to verse 20. Salakia, just bear with me 1 second. Trying to get situated. Ugh. All right. Salakia Akim. So verse 20 says, and unto all of the mingled people, and unto all the kings of the land of Uz, and unto all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and unto all of Ashkelon, and unto Azah, and unto Ekron, and unto the remnant of Ashdod. All right, which is the surrounding lands, you know, because when Nebuchadnezzar came into power, right? He was given not just the land of Israel for him to rule over, but the surrounding lands. All right, just like in the latter days, the Lord gave Esau the ability to set up a state in Israel, and he set up these heathens to occupy the surrounding areas of Israel, which is why you have, all right, a division. They're fighting for who the land belongs to, which it doesn't really belong to the small hats or that other side, you know, because that's set up. We know that's set up. That's not, you know, it's set up to an extent, but they're also fighting for it on the low. But we don't have nothing to do with that because those are heathens for the most part, right? The remnant are mainly here in America, Babylon the Great. Now we have some of our people mingled amongst them, but it's just a few. All right, but now is the time of the heathen, which they're in our land. All right, that's really what it's talking about. All right, so all the kings of the land of Uz. All right, the mingled people. Right, you can apply that in all these areas stated. You can apply that to today, because the Lord is not just going to visit America, Babylon the Great. He's going to visit the earth. He's going to rain fire upon the land of Israel, because the people aren't in the land. The people of the Lord aren't in that land. So he has to cleanse it. And then he's going to bring the elect after they get delivered out of America, Babylon the Great. Those people that call themselves Philistines, they're Arabs. They're not really, they don't belong there either. They belong in the land of Ishmael, which is Saudi Arabia. All right. So it's not really, they don't belong there either. But when it's speaking about surrounding lands and all that, it's talking about the heathen ultimately. All right, which you can apply to today. The Lord visiting the heathen, which is Esau, which is right the nations, and it's a lot here. Just bear with me 1 second. Which is Esau, the nations, and because when the Lord rains down fire on America, Babylon the Great, he's gonna visit the heathen as well. All right, which is why this chapter sounds like it's just talking about uh, the happenings of what was going on back then, but really, when it starts with Pharaoh, the order that it starts in, and verse 1, because it starts with Nebuchadnezzar, you may think that it's just, well, automatically that doesn't apply to today. You know, you got to remember these are parallels that the Lord put in the spirit of Jeremiah to draw uh, amongst these nations. These are just parallels, and these same nations are still around. All right, Salakia. Bear with me 1 second. Salakia, these are all devices to keep you in doubt. All right. Things like, oh, the land of the Philistines, Palestine. Palestine, those that say Palestine, Palestine, free Palestine, those are Arabs. The original Palestinians, when you go into the book of Genesis, that belongs there. They come from the lineage of the sons of Ham, which are the biblical Africans. You got to remember, the earth was all together in one. The continents were not separated before. It's called Pangea. So you got places like Africa, which is the land of Ham, and the land of Israel, which was the land of Canaan, which was that used to be together. And these continents were they were once bundled together. All right, uh, just like the ideologies when you go back to ancient Babylon. All right, but the Lord separated that. However, He did it. We can't say He caused the earthquake and separated the lands because that's not scriptural. But somehow He got these heathens separated and separated their mindsets, because that's how the Lord made it anyways. It's for there to be clans, families, divisions in the earth, you know, because these ancient clans, families, they didn't just mingle amongst each other. They mingled, right? Eventually, they started mingling with taking wives of the other nations, which is confusion, but they did that, but the Lord didn't make it so when He created these nations. In the ancient world, you would stay amongst your people because then you would lose prominence amongst your clan, amongst your land. amongst the rulers of your family. All right, but this is the idea that is being pushed. A mingling, confusion, you know? So like I said, the Romans, they named the land of Israel Palestine, so that doesn't even belong to them, right? To the Arabs or the Hamites, they were once dwelled amongst the coast of Israel, which is the land of the Philistines. I believe that's talking about the southwest coast, Ekron and Ashdod, but you got this is the device or many devices that are set up to keep you, Jake, asleep. Christianity, Catholicism, Islam, right? In order for you to cause to doubt who you are as an Israelite, right? Which are the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. These are all devices that cause you to doubt. This is what the beast forwards with his agenda, which is goes into 3 unclean spirits. Paul the Apostle spoke about the signs, lying wonders, and great power. Even the system that they're setting up now, the 666, you got Chi Psi Stigma. Chi goes into is the first letter and the title Christ, which is Christos, which goes into Christos means anointed. So you have a left-hand priesthood. Esau has a left-hand priesthood. Again, he's used these ancient nations to, all right, he heaped up all people to himself, and he's used them to, to call upon demons and set up lies to keep the children of God in check. Psi, which is 60, goes into psychology, pseudoscience, psyche, right? Which knowing, which are other terms to Esau uses, and systems that he uses to mess with you, with your mind, right? Even the food you eat, right? The water you drink, the air you breathe, everything is defiled. It's poisoned. It's set up to go against the children of God, mainly the children of God, but the earth as well, because these other nations they're consuming it as well, you know. But the number one target is Jake, you know. Stigma goes into a branding, which is what the ancient Greeks did. They would brand themselves with the marks of their gods. All right, which is what you got. Why you have false idols set up? They're meant to cause Jake to go astray, and that's going into Esau's by force. Ultimately, he's going to first. It starts with persuasion. All right, on the left hand side, then psychology, and then force is how you're going to take the charagma and conform, and then the Lord is going to destroy you when He brings the destruction. All right. So when you hear about the small hats and the Palestinians, right? That's a lie. That is set up. That's set up. You got what's called these sides were set up. All right, to get to this is all made to confuse Jake even more. All right, because Esau knows that we would eventually touch on it. We would eventually speak on it. All right. And now we're a target because of that. But the Lord is we're not in a time to where the Lord is going to be slack concerning His works, His promise. one of the times where the Lord is seeing these things happen, and He's uh, forwarding His word. All right. So it says, Wa'atha call ha'irab, Wa'atha call malakia, rataza, wa orslakia ha'itaza, orslakia ha'ataza, orslakia waha itaza, Wa'atha call malakia, rataza, palashtayim, Wa'atha ashakwalan, Wa'atha aiza, Wa'atha Akwaran, Wa'atha Sha'aryath, Ah Shaddad. Verse 21, unto Edom, and unto Moab, and unto the sons of Ammon. All right. So don't let this throw you off that it says King of Pharaoh and then it says Edom again. Because again, it was talking about back then, which Pharaoh was there around these lands that Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, conquered. All right. But to an extent, the Lord put it in the mind of Jeremiah to kind of repeat all these people that were kind of basically in the known world during that time, were in the known land, because the nations are always going to be mentioned, but they're mentioned in the sense that they were in the known parts of the earth that were in which they were dwelling. All right. Which is why this chapter may throw a lot of you off. Case in point, when Alexander the Great Hellenized the known world, all right, he Hellenized the known world, meaning America, Babylon the Great wasn't yet on the map. So these nations were closer together, all right, but they were still mentioned. Whether you say he Hellenized the known world, or if you make a list of who was there, which they didn't even have to do that in the New Testament, because these lands were mentioned even in the New Testament. Tyre, Sidon, right? Places that Yahushua visited, the land of the Girgashites. So it was the land, but the Hamites were still there in certain parts of these lands. All right. So the Lord doesn't have to break it down, and the Bible wasn't written that way, to where everything's in context and made easier for you to understand. It wasn't supposed to be that way. All right. For example, when the Lord visited the man in the land of the Girgashites in the New Testament, Yahushai, that he was in chains and he had demons on him, and he would break away from the chains and go to the graves and cut himself. The Lord healed him, but then when the people came of the land, they said, we heard what you did, and we don't want you to be here, because those were Hamites. That's why the Lord said when he healed him, that particular man wanted to follow Yahushua, but he said no. Instead, go tell them what I did as a testimony. All right. Because when you got demons on you, and these particular of these left-hand priests that even ministered to Esau, they're going to tell Esau the truth. They're not going to lie to him, because these demons speak truth with lies. All right. Which is why the Lord said that the diviners and those that have familiar spirits, the Lord is going to confound their work, because ultimately the Lord is still going to push the cause the word to be spoken, the gospel. All right. Whether Esau changes the seasons, whether he whether these spirits let you know who they are, or try to seduce you. That's why the Lord is going to confound, uh, gonna make these things to none effect, because as we get to these times, He's going to make these times more unbearable for the nations as well, because there's going to be more division. There's going to be you're going to have to pick a side amongst Israel and amongst the heathen. The heathen are going to pick their side among their people. You see, the Lord is separating sheep and the goats, meaning amongst Israel, the elect have to uh, they're going to have to step away from these wicked devices, and the 2/3 are going to get closer to the wicked. But the nations are going to have to pick. Uh, they're going to have to choose a side as well amongst their own, right? So this is going to bring more division and more closer to the day of the Lord. All right. So verse 21 says, unto Edom, and unto Moab, and unto the sons of Ammon, which is to whom the Lord is visiting, Atha Adawam, Wa Atha Mawa'aba, Wa Atha Banya Imwan. Verse 22, unto all the kings of Tyrus, and unto the kings of Zidon, and unto the kings of the Isles, which Ayat, that just means islands, which are um, exactly what it means. Islands. They're not continents. They're not vast lands. They're smaller lands, just to keep it in layman's terms. All right. To the isles which are beyond the sea. All right. It reads, Wa ata called Malakia Tazar. Wa ata called Malakia Tazad Yawan. Wa ata Malakia Ha'aya Ashar Ba'abar Hayam. Verse 23, and unto Dedan, and unto Tema, and unto Booz, and unto all the ends of the region, as in unto all the ends of that region. Wa'ata Dadan, Wa'ata Tayama'a, Wa'ata Baz, Wa'ata Kal, Wataza Tazaya, Pa'a. And unto all the kings of Arabia, verse 24, and unto all the kings of those that are mingled, that dwell in the desert. All right. So, like I said, it wasn't, at first you did read about Ishmaelites, you read about, like in the book of Judges, you read about Midianites, but eventually they just mingled amongst themselves right along with these Semitic tribes, sons of Shem. All right. Wa'atha called Malakia Irab, Wa'atha called Malakia Ha'irab Mashakanyum by Montabar. To all the kings of Zimri. So the Lord didn't have to say, this tribe and this tribe and this tribe and break it all down. All right. To all the kings of Zimri, to all the kings of Elam, and to all the kings of the Medes. All right. Which those were Japheth. right? The actual Medes, right? Those were Japhetic peoples. Wa'ata kal Malakia Zamaria, Wa'ata kal Malakia Ayalam. I see you. I see you're hidden. Wa'ata kal Malakia, inside joke, Madya. And unto all the kings of the north, near and far off, a man towards his brethren, and unto all of the dominions of the world which are upon the face of the earth, and the king of Shishak shall drink after them. Wa'atha kal Malakia ha Tazapan ha Korabium ha Rachakim Ayash al Achewa Wa'atha kal Hama Malakath ha Arataza Ashar al Panya ha Atama wa Malak Shashak Yashatha Achar Yacham. Right? So I don't know if you got that earlier, but this is the spirit that the Lord put in Esau to heap up these nations unto himself. And there's particular spirits that come with these particular rulerships, like Babylon, promoting fusion. During the time of the Greeks were basically, there were Moes. All right. So this is why they agree. Sodom and Gomorrah, those were Hamites, which were Moes. This is why they fornicate with the beast, with the whore and the beast, because ultimately they're all sick. They all worship idols, call upon laughing spirits. They're weird. They look weird. They eat weird stuff. Abominations. You know, except them Hamite women. Some of them Hamite women. Woo! Inside joke. Some of these the Moabites, you know, they can get it too. Um, verse 27. And thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. And that side, that's just a punctuation. Uh, drink and be drunken, and spew, meaning vomit, kwaya, that means vomit, and fall, and do not rise again from before the sword which I will send amongst you, which was Nebuchadnezzar back then, but it's Esau in these latter days. Which Esau took the form of the king of Babylon, Pharaoh, because he consolidated, he gathered these demons, those that called on demons and wizards, mages, and he created an empire with that, as well as taking taking Jake. So he took everything. He didn't leave no grapes. You go to the land of Elam, there's trash everywhere. They're defecating everywhere. You go to the land of Ham, Ham is all messed up. Eating doo-doo sandwiches, you know. But you got some of them that are here, and you know they're doing all right. But that's because, you know, they're working for Esau. All right. But as a whole, the earth is messed up due to this damn devil. All right. You got particular places in Japan, China, where Japan, um, where the Lord caused these bombs to fall via the hand of Esau, and there's certain zones you can't even inhabit because of radiation. Hiroshima, Esau committed a lot of atrocities. All right. Goddamn devils. And Esau, Edom, he's a so-called white man. All right. And you damn devils, your day is coming and you know it. All right. So what? May the Lord destroy you and your lies. Just like you heathen. You heathen, you're gonna get the recompense of your works. Same as two-thirds, you're gonna two-thirds, right? Those that don't repent, the Lord is gonna destroy you. All right. This word is mainly for the elect. All right. So it says, Wa Amarath al Yaham Sa Ka Amar Yahweh Tazabaath Alhaya Yashar Allah Shatwa Wa Shakarwa Wa Kwayawa Wa Napalwa Wa La'a Thakwamwa Ma Panya Ha Harab Ashar Anakya Shalach Bayan Yakam. Verse 28, and it shall come to pass, because they refuse to drink of the cup from your hand to drink it, and thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord God of hosts, surely, uh, surely thou shalt drink of it. All right. Which the heathen are bucking up in the form of these secret councils. Psalms 83. All right. No, you be quiet. No, you be quiet. No, you be quiet. You know? And it's beautiful because that's just building our faith up even more. Those that are in the truth. Two-thirds, right now, two-thirds they're scared of death. Literally and figuratively. Scared of death and scared of death. And they have no faith. Right? Where is your faith? All right. That's what the Lord said to Peter when he started walking on water and he calmed the winds when they were in the boat. And the apostle Peter said, Lord, save us. You know, these are examples of that the Lord gave us to be strong. All right. To be of good courage, to meditate in the law day and night, which is synonymous with what Joshua, the son of Nun, spoke about. He said to study the law day and night, to be encouraged, to be a faith, strong faith, to read, right? Indeed, right? So you can see, right, what can be perceived. All right. So as the heathen buck up, right, we're still going to continue preaching the word. And this is what that means. All right. I'm not going to go back and forth. No, you be quiet. No, you be quiet. No, you be quiet. You know? Inside joke. Why Yahaya? or Salakia. Verse 28 says, Wa haya kaya ya ma'anwa lakwath ha kawas mayadka lashathath wa amarath al yaham ka amar Yahweh tazaba'ath shathwa tha shathwa. Verse 29 says, Because behold, upon a city which is called upon my name upon it, as in, or upon her, I will begin to for evil, as in to perform evil against it, which starts with the Israelites, which is why the Lord said that judgment must first come into the house of Israel, and woe to those that do not have such faith, wherewith the ungodly, unjust, and the ungodly appear. All right. If the righteous scarcely be saved, where will the unrighteous and the ungodly appear? All right. They're not going to appear because they're going to, all right. They're not going to appear because they're going to be worried about the affairs of this world. All right. So that's why the Lord said, if the righteous scarcely be saved, through the Apostle Peter, because this is about the elect, the remnant, and 2/3. They're not going to basically stick around for you. How about you, Shai, or stick up for him? You know, because the heathen know that that the time is they're losing time, right? Which is why they got to make time, right? But it's not. First off, the Lord already said they would do that. They would change the times. You know. So the scriptures say what? That the Lord speaketh once, he speaketh twice, but man does not perceive, because it was not given to the sons of men, right? It's given to the godly, to the pious, to the meek, which is the elect of the nation of Israel. And that's why the Lord said we would inherit the earth, because we're going to be given it, right, via our, right, through our faith and works, which is ultimately walking in the course that the Lord gave, which is repenting, prophesying, praying, watching, fasting, keeping the laws, keeping the Sabbath. All right, warning the people, and seeking the Lord while he still may be found. All right, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem B'Kakwadash. It's not, his name is not Jehovah, it's not Yahuwah, it's Yahweh. Ba'ashem means in the name, in the ancient Hebrew language, the original Hebrew tongue. Yahweh Shai, Hamashayach, so you call Jesus Christ. In ignorance, you call him Jesus Christ because you're ignorant that to the fact that he was a Hebrew, he was from the tribe of Judah, right, which was a man. It wasn't a nation, but that nation became a man. It was not a religion to be a Jew. It was talking about a man named Judah, which they were Hebrews. They were of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. So Jesus Christ is not his name. It's not Yeshua, Yahushua, Yahawashai, Hamashayach, Ba'ashem, Brakah Kodash, which is the Holy Spirit, which is the Lord's counsel, which is the divine inspiration, the holy angels, the righteous work of the Lord being performed. A pure spirit, undefiled, right? The spirit of truth, not error, all right? Which is why scriptures say that the Holy Spirit will not speak of itself. Meaning, right? We're not boasting on ourselves. We're not, we're merely telling you what the Lord has already gave, which is the word, and pronouncing its judgments, and rightly dividing the words of truth. Right? While you have other men that sold out, that they want to make and keep their positions, it's not about that. This is about a righteous work being worked in the earth. You know, which says, and thou, surely thou shalt be avenged, and thou shalt not, right? Basically, and surely thou shalt be avenged, and shall thou not be avenged. All right. Because the vengeance of the Lord is to visit us for our sins, even the elect. We went off, and we're being corrected as we get closer to the kingdom, going through these birth pains. All right. And that's why it says, thou shalt not be avenged, which is another way to say, and shalt thou not be visited. The Lord said he's going to take vengeance, and will thou not be visited? Right? Which is why the book of Micah says that, right, to wait upon the Lord till he brings that change, which is changing bodies, which is the deliverance. All right. And power. All right. So it says, because a sword I shall proclaim upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith the Lord of hosts. So first it was the arrow, first it was the bow, and then it was the sword. The modern day sword is the gun. The modern day bow is the nuclear silo. The modern day arrow is the missiles, whether it be intercontinental, ballistic, or just a regular missile. These are the weapons of the Lord's vengeance. All right. Which reads, Kaya hana ba'ayar ashar na kwara'a shamya aliyah anakia machal la harai atha wa atham hanakwa tanakwa la'a tanakwa kaya harab anya kwara'a al kal yashabya ha'rataza na'am Yahweh tazba'ath. No, you be quiet. No, you be quiet. Inside joke. Verse 30, and thou shalt prophesy unto them unto all of the words these, and say unto them, the Lord from on high, he shall roar, and from the habitation of his holiness he shall place his voice. Surely he shall roar upon the abodes with a shout. Let's look at that word for shout, hayadad, which is a proclamation. or exclamation, but really it means proclamation, because when you proclaim something, you speak it out loud, and it's being, you know, like Esau used to do in the medieval times. Hear, hear, lend me your ear. They would say it loud, which is really a proclamation. They would make proclamations concerning particular things. And that is where Esau gets a lot of these examples, like the damn devil that he is. Like those that bend, which just says tread the grapes, which it doesn't actually say grapes. It actually means like those that tread to bring low, which Aina means to answer, to give, or to bring low. So you could actually say, like unto he that treadeth, like unto he that treadeth, um, he shall answer unto all the inhabitants of the earth. Meaning that's how he's going to present. Yahweh Shai is going to come as a destroyer, as a conqueror, as a angelic spirit, right? To wound the head of many nations, like it says in Psalms 1 and 10, which is the missiles, which is the chariots, and right, the holy angels. You got to remember, it's gonna get as it's gonna get real bad to where the Lord is gonna have to send Michael the archangel and his only begotten son. The angels are gonna have to intervene, which is why the Lord said through the prophet Isaiah that when they shall come in as a flood, the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. You know, we don't know how, well, we have an idea because we've been talking about it. Meaning Esau is going to pull out all the stops. All right. This isn't about, do not be deceived. This is not about good versus evil. This is about the Lord performing his work. All right. It's not like in the movies where you have the good guy and the bad guy duking it out from the beginning to the end of the movie. No. The Lord is giving you devils, is giving you over to these devils, these demonic spirits, so you can, so we can ultimately be justified when the Lord protects us. This is not about, you're not going to have good angels and bad angels fighting against each other in the heavens like Esau tries to tell you. No, that's talking about his armies seeing the heavenly host via him using the weapons that these demonic spirits gave him the ability to create, all this technology, and basically the sons of men basically being shown that they are nothing but men. And in the end, the Lord is going to put down his foot, his authority, which we are his authority. All right. So all that talk about uh, the Most High, and you're going to know who the Most High is in that day. He's going to show you, because he's going to be glorified in that day. All right. This isn't even about us. It's about Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And the creator showing you that he created these things to show you who his chosen are. And it's as simple as that. All right. That's why you heathens, you don't understand the Bible. The Bible hasn't been understood because that truth hasn't been it wasn't hasn't been pronounced, hasn't been revealed. Which this is the revealing of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, the revealing of God's chosen people, and the revelation of the judgments of the Lord. All right. Which is why when the Lord told Ezra, when he was talking about Esau and Jacob, well, what are the midst of the times? He said, do not worry about that. All right. This is why the Lord didn't give us everything that how it's gonna pan out. Okay, the Lord is gonna appear, he's gonna open portals, and the angel's gonna come out. And do not worry, children of Israel. Michael shall thou shalt be teleported. Thou shalt have force fields around you. No, because the Lord doesn't have to tell you that. The Lord is going to show you. That's it. You know? And what a great thing uh, to know about the Lord's loving kindness. All right? This is a beautiful thing. Because we knew it all along somehow in our spirit, even before we came into the truth, that there is something greater in the midst of all this creation. You know? So it says, Wa'atha ha naba'a al yaham, atha call ha dabarium, ha alha, wa amarath, al yaham Yahweh, ma maram, yasha'ag, wa ma'an, kwadashwa, yatan, kwalwa, sha'ag, yasha'ag, al nawawa, hayedad, kadarakium, ya'aina, al kol yashabia ha-ratazah. And that's why we understand, even we understand when we go through it in the faith, in the truth, because we understand that there's demonic spirits behind this, which the Lord directs. All right, and the Lord is directly controlling all these things. All right, so when we see temptations, trials, we know it is to our to make us better, right? To strengthen us and to we know that the Holy Spirit is guiding us through all this because there's signs, right, which the Lord gives us individually, not miraculous signs, but right, there will be signs, you know. At the end of the day, if you're sincere, you're doing what you should be doing, there's the Lord is guiding you. All right. Which is what, at times we're even ignorant of that as the servants of the Lord, right? But we get reminded definitely, that the Lord is with us, you know, because how else would his word be preached if the Lord didn't intercede and um and give us a way, right? If he didn't, then we would be, like it says in book Isaiah, as Sodom and Gomorrah. All right. We would be corrupt, right? But it's not possible because the Lord didn't put it in us to be corrupt. All right. So we see you damn devils. And guess what? We know that he who is in us is stronger than you, which is the Lord working with us. And that was the whole idea behind First John, Second John. All right, overcoming the evil one, because we know that the Lord is 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 one. Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai. He is one God, and He's the one that is upholding us like Yahushai. All right, you had Satan come and tempt him. All right, but even Satan knew, right, that the Lord gave angels charge over Yahushai, just like the elect. All right, which is part of the Lord's plan. You're not supposed to walk into the kingdom, with and stroll into the kingdom. No, that's not part of the plan. All right, and you devils know that too, on the physical and on a metaphysical level. You devils know. All right. So it says, and it shall come tumult even from the ends of the earth, because a contention there is to the Lord, meaning the Lord has a contention amongst the nations, to judge, or Salakia, to judge he unto all flesh, for the wicked shall be given, or for those that are wicked shall be given, they shall be given unto the sword, saith the Lord. Woo! See, even the Lord, right, knows. Even the Lord, He's got that the He knows what He's talking about. You know. So you heathens, Esau, you think the Bible is just the scriptures is just poppycock, or it doesn't make sense. Why does it say this and then why does it say that? Pharaoh, Esau, they're all in the same chapter. Well, that means no, that's not what it's talking about. Okay, the Lord knows he said. What He said. His word is not is there's no lie in it. All right. It says, Ba Sha'awan ad Wataza Ha Rataza Kaya Rayab La Yahawah Bagawayim Na Shapa Tawa Lakal Bashar Habrashayim Natanam La Harab Naam Yahawah. Verse 32, thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, an evil is gone out from nation unto nation, and a tempest great shall be stirred up from the sides of the earth. All right, meaning from coast to coast, from nation to nation. It's not going to be a regional war. It's not going to be regional division. It's not going to be America, Babylon the Great, just America, Babylon the Great. It's going to be worldwide. We're talking about demonic spirits going forth into the earth. to deceive the sons of men. All right. And then the Lord, right, gathering his people, which it's already happening. It's through the word. It's ultimately it's going to be an actual reaping. You see, what we're speaking is just a I don't want to say prognostication because that kind of gives it an evil sense. We're just giving you the skinny. All right. And this is not like this is not made up. Why would we sit here and go through what we go through to speak something that could be clearly false, made up? It's definitely not made up. We're definitely not speaking of ourselves, you know. So you got to take it for what it is, which is the truth, you know. Verse 32 says, Ka Amar Yahweh Tazaba'ath Hana Raya Ya Taza'ath Ma Gawaya Al Gawaya Wasa'ar Gadal Ya Awar Mayarakat Ya Aratazah. You know, so it's never that deep. You know, it's for you Jakes that, oh man, well, why didn't Esau and why didn't the nations and why didn't just do this? Why didn't just do, you know, it's not that deep. All right. Uh, Verse 33, and it shall come to pass, the slain of the Lord in that day that is, in the day that is, from the end of the earth, even unto another, and or slack, even unto the end. Salakia. And it shall come to pass, the slain of the Lord in the day that is, from the end, from the end of the earth, and even to the end of the earth, as in from one end to another. They shall not be lamented, and they shall not be gathered, and they shall not be buried, for dung upon the face of the ground they shall be. All right. Meaning the day of the Lord is just you just can't stop it. All right. And that's what eventually Esau is going to bug out and the nations because they're going to see that that this thing can't be undone. What's done cannot be undone. Ultimately, all right, which is the remnant will be woken up. You cannot undo that. You know, simple as that. Which says, "Wa hayawa halal ya Yahweh bayam ha hawa ma kwataza ha rataza wa'ad kwataza ha rataza la'a yasapadwa wala'a ya asapwa wala'a yakwabarwa la daman al panya ha adama yahayawa." Verse 34. See how many more verses we got left. 4. All right. Verse 34 says, How, O shepherds, and cry and roll yourselves, ye um, honorable ones of the flock. which is these senators, governors, presidents, all right? Because those are the shepherds of the nations, those the policymakers, all right? Um, because to them it's gonna be worse for them because their own people are not. There's gonna come a time to where their own people are not gonna listen to them. They're not right. They shall not regard their princes nor their governors, because people they're already in a mindset to where everyone is woke to the fact that there's a lot of lies, there's a lot of deception going on. All right, and it's gonna get to where people are gonna start rebelling. Right now, things are kind of being kept in check, which is why Esau's waiting to see, maybe that's his plan, to see to see who will flank the ranks, who will flank amongst the ranks first, so they can see who other than the Israelites to go after, or who's gonna react first, who's gonna make the first move amongst the nations. Where do we start? You know, you just never know with these damn devils. You know. But it doesn't really matter to us because the Lord is going to, make things happen however they happen. We can only speculate. Um, and that works for us too because you know that's only gonna keep us preaching, and keep us giving that warning out. You know, that's what it says. Because it is fulfilled, uh, your days unto the slaughter and your dispersion and your fall. It's like, and thou shalt fall like a vessel pleasant, which is Hamadah. Hamad just means precious, you know? Because scriptures say that once they see the great city, Babylon, thrown down, they're going to be like, oh shit. They're going to say, even those that don't really necessarily know the scriptures, they're gonna kind of, they'll realize that this is um, extra biblical stuff, you know? They're gonna realize this is an extra biblical. This is of biblical proportions. You know, your dispersions, your right falling like a pleasant vessel. Because when the nation see that, they're gonna be like, they might lose hope. Some might get desperate after that, or you never know what the Lord will put into the mind of these heathen. Uh, so it says, Hayal Yalwa Harayim was Akwa Waha Ta Palashwa Adior Ya Ha Tazaan Kaya Malaawa Yam Yakam La Tabach Watha Atazath Yakam Wa Napal Thum Ka Kolia Hamada. It says, and it shall perish to flee from the Salakia. And I shall cause to perish, to flee of those of the shepherds, and cause to escape the honorable of the flock. Which here says, and the shepherd shall have no way to flee, nor the principal of the flock to escape. Which, however you put that, it just means, they're going to have some of you Edomites, the upper elite, you're going to have underground bunkers, but you're still not going to escape. Even though you escape, you're not going to escape the destruction. All right? The wicked elites, Rothschilds, the super, super, super rich, you're only going to be preserved in those bunkers in order for the elect to bring you out and put your damn devils in chains. You know? It sounds like something very boastful, but that's just what the Lord said. You know? Verse 36, a voice of the cry of the shepherds and the howling of the honorable ones of the flock, because despoiling of the Lord shall be unto their pasture. Meaning the upper elites, they're gonna see Yahweh shall return in the heavens. They're gonna see the chariots. They're gonna see the missiles hit. By the time the missiles hit America, Babylon Great, they're already gonna be in their bunkers, the elite, because they're gonna get an early call. And then they might have systems set up to where they're gonna be able to see the destruction, World War III. All right. Right, and they're gonna see that, which is why it says the voice of the cry of the shepherds and the howling of the honorable ones of the flock, because of the spoiling of the Lord shall be to their pasture. That voice of the cry of the shepherds, of the principle of the flock, meaning they're going to see the destruction and they're going to, oh no, they're going to acknowledge basically defeat. They're going to say, oh man, fuck, there goes America, Babylon Great. Oh, the other lands too. We're done. There's nothing left. We got to rebuild. We got to rebuild. They're going to be in underground bunkers, looking up their schematics and trying to, make their next move. But it's going to be to no avail. All that we worked for, it's gone, all gone. Which reads, Qual Taza'akath Harayim Wayal Lath Waya Lalath Adyarya Hataza'an Kaya Shadad Yahweh Atha Ma Rayatham. That's a deep scripture right there. That's a good one. That's some hidden manna right there. Even though that's not what it's talking about in the book of Revelation when it says hidden manna, but this is just, to us, it's hidden manna, because the hidden manna is actually really just the Lord delivering us and us knowing, after the elect are crowned in the heavens, the ceremony of the elect, and when we get to the kingdom, to the land, we're gonna know everything as the Lord gave us. We're gonna know. We're just gonna be in the fullness of things. That's basically not know everything, because the Lord knows everything. The Lord can give us whatever He wants at that time, once we get there. So it says, and they are made silent the abodes of peace from before the fierce anger of the Lord. The peaceful habitations is what? These borders, these checkpoints, there's everything that has to do with governing the land, defenses. That's just that's that's what it means being cut down. You know, that's what it means when the peaceful habitations are cut down. Radar systems, laser guided systems, all that is it's gonna be cut down because it's gonna be in ashes and smoke. You know, wana damwa na awath ha shalom ma panya haran ab Yahweh. Man, that's a good one too. And I read that plenty of times, and that never came to me like that. Verse 38, he have forsaken, shall be forsaken the like unto the young lion, right? Because in the times of distress, in the times of desperation, when there's a lion and a group of lions, and you got lionesses and you got cubs, in the time of desperation, the lion is not going to be concerned about the cub or the lioness. The lion is going to be too busy trying to flee. You know, his cover like unto when there is unto when it becometh his land unto desolation. Right. So eventually, the wicked elite, they're gonna say, "Well, America, Babylon the Great is not top priority. Where we're at as a majority is a top priority, which is Europe. You know, they ain't gonna be worried about uh, where these few Edomites are. They're gonna be worried about where their strongholds are, where the majority of their people are at. Which they're doing that in the background. They're preparing, you know, from before the fierceness of the afflictor, which is oppressor, which yana or aina just means to bring low. Because these Edomites know that these other nations, they've been building themselves up. You know, they kind of got, you know, some loose ends to tie with Esau. You know, and from before of the fierceness of his anger. All right, so Esau just doesn't have the Lord to deal with, or the remnant that are waking up to deal with. The Lord calls it to where Esau is going to be dealing with a lot of stuff, just like in ancient Rome. All right, before Rome fell, you had a lot of people usurping authority. You had a lot of men crept in unawares. That's a sign for us to kind of know that, okay, you know, something is up. You know, something is fishy around here. You know, which reads Izab Ka Kapiar Sakwa Kaya Hayatha Aratazam La Shama Mapanya Haran Hayana Wama Panya Haran Abwa. So with that, this is Jeremiah chapter 25, going into the Hebrew. It's Brother Yatazadak, Hero Israel. And as always, Lord willing, you were edified, giving all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Kwam Yasha Allah, Abad Babal, Shalom.